Alright, how to put a halter on. There's two types. We got leather and then we got a rope halter. Leather halter, come through here, and the only thing I'm kind of picky on, because I don't like it left like this, it needs to come through here, and then that way if they pull back, it'll break right here, it won't break the snap. So make sure every time we push it through like that. Then always lead a horse with the lead rope, don't ever pull one with the halter. And the rope halter, grab one in here. So all the rope halters are basically the same here. This goes around their nose. If there's one that's high-headed like this one, you should be able to pick your hand up and go like that. I've got all of mine that I work with where they'll drop their head. Go through the hole right here, and then go around this way, like that. The reason why is if they pull back, all you'll ever have to do, so if I pull that as tight as I can, or he was tied up and pulled back, you just push that forward, and then you can undo it. So if you're tying it this way, you're doing it wrong, because if he pulls back, that'll get tight. You won't be able to undo it, you'll have to use a pocket knife. So go below, through, just like that. Alright, so the only knot we tie with is the bank robber's knot. And the reason why is if they pull back, we can untie them. So come up here. If you have a pin like this, or some of the poles have a chain around it, doesn't really matter. First off, I always tie them really short. If they have a saddle on, then they can't reach around and get the stirrup in their mouth. Kind of a safety thing. So I make a bite. I got my tail over here on my left. Bite will go through there. Got that right there. So this is the end to the horse's lead rope or halter. And the tail's right here. Go around the bite, just like that. Underneath the end going to the horse. Make another bite. Push that through and pull it tight. If I want to lock it in, then I just make another loop and take the slack through there. So Valentine's saying hi, but that's how it'll go right there. I'll do it one more time kind of quicker. And all right. Bite, tail, over, under, bite, and pull that tight right there, this end with the horse on it. Lock it in. This video is not the best. You can look up bank robber's knot on YouTube and there might be a better video of it. Valentine. All right, that's good. All right, so when we unpack a horse, the last thing we would undo in this situation would be the cinch. I got some saddles with the back cinch. We'll do that in a different video. And then I got some with a breast collar. So for the breast collar, I'll undo it from the cinch here. Sometimes it's a little tight. I clip it up here, just like that. Undo this side from the saddle. Find a random hole. And then I slide it back over the horn. So that way when I go to saddle again, it'll be right there and I don't have to go to that side. I can just reach around and grab it. Away we go. Taking a cinch off, pretty simple, but I got a way I like to hang the billet. So everything's undone. You're gonna take this, you're gonna make a bite. Come through there. This saddle's kind of tricky because it's got this flap. So you'll have that right there. And then if we're keeping this permanent, like if we're having to put it in the trailer or whatever, you can lock it into place like that. But you don't have to. This is fine just like that. The reason why is when you go to saddle, take this right here and it'll just pull through nice and easy. So right through there, pull it up, and then you're ready, good to go. All right, so this is how we wrap the front leg. A lot of them I'll do a knee boot, knee wrap, and duct tape. If you use electrical tape, you got to make sure that you pull it out so it's not too tight. We don't just wrap around it and then pull it, because that electrical tape will be really tight. So you got to pull it and then wrap it around loosely. I can show them that on this leg. But on this, so we start up here, and we're not going to pull tension on the way down. We're just going to make it lay really, really smooth. And then every time I go down, I have about the same distance between these. I go around the ankle. That way, the bell boots, when I'm riding them, they won't rub on their hide. They'll rub on the polo wrap, so less scratches. On the way up's where I pull tension. I always pull tension towards their butt. So right there, tension, 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 tension. I just do that the whole way up, and if you notice, I got the same space every time. And then it should finish up at the top, so you'll get good at knowing how long your wrap is and where to finish up at. The good thing to know when you do this, if you're worried if it's too tight or too loose, I don't know if they can hear that on the video, but it makes the same noise the whole leg when I flick it. So here, if I have one that just takes one knee boot or whatever, like this would be good, and you just tape around this end so it doesn't come undone when I'm riding. This one I'm going to put a knee boot on. So this looks older, but it's really not that old. They just wear out very, very quickly, so the Velcro doesn't work. So what we do is I put the bottom Velcro right where that strap would be around the leg. You can grab him, Elliot. You're not gonna bother us. All right, and I go right here, start here, wrap around that. Thank you. Wrap around that a few times. Pull that. So there's a Velcro up here that I got taped. That's just going to hold this from coming undone. And then this bottom part here is going to hold the wrap in place and the knee boot. So notice I take my duct tape and I split it into parts because we don't need it super wide. Start here, come around. Notice I'm not pulling this super tight. And that ought to hold it. All right, you want to do the electrical tape on this side. The electrical tape, I'm going to pull it, loosen it up, and then sometimes I even roll it back on there. So the whole thing is that we don't get it too tight. So when I do this, if you watch, I'm not putting any, so right here, I ran out, so I got to pull it, so I pull it out that way. And then I just lay it on there. When I go to break it, I'll break it out here, and then I'll lay it flat. I do not pull it tight across the leg. You wrap this leg, maybe come over here, Maggie, so you can. So the back leg's very similar to the front, same tension. If you notice though, there's a lot more layers down around this ankle. A lot of times I go around the end and I just stop them, and I don't have skid boots on them. So we want at least 3 layers across this bottom ankle, so when they stop, they don't burn themselves. That's the only difference between the front and the back. All right, so going. Every horse has their own saddle pad, so here we got Violet. I'll have them labeled, it's all across the back wall. Some of them get a rubber pad. If you never know which one they get, that would be the one to grab. But if you see one with their name on it, so I'll grab this. Then I'll come over here, grab a cinch, and then you'll get good at knowing what size of cinch they are by looking at them. She's going to be probably around a 32, I would say. So I don't care if you throw it on the right side or the left. I usually do the right because it saves some walking. Put my cinch right there. So I'll do one with the back cinch here. Alright. Got my saddle, and I go this way so I can throw it on this side. Throw it up there. I make sure I pull this up Have plenty of space. Kind of try to get their mane out. Hers is braided, so it's easy, but if their mane's ever in there, try to get that. Make sure we got pad in front of the front and the back. If you have to choose between one or the other, make sure it's over the front. So my back cinch, I'll line up with these clips right here. So I'm gonna put this where I think it'll go. Pretty spot on right there. Take my back cinch. Alright. That should work. I may have to go up one hole, but I think that's good. So then we'll come around here. This needs to come forward a little bit. There we go. Can you see all this, or do I need to push it?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright. Alright, so I undo this. All the saddle billets are up like this. I have that in the other video. Take this. So I'll tighten the saddle 3 times before I ride. This is the first time. This first time all we want is we just want it snug. So it doesn't have to be tight. I just want it snug enough that if they rub or they try to shake, the saddle won't fly underneath them. It's going to stay in its spot. So put it about right here. You can kind of see the tension. There's like, that's not easy to do, but it's not hard either. Put this up here. Go up, back through the keeper. That'll lock it in place. Last thing I always do is the back cinch. Never do it before the cinch. That way if they get weird, this isn't on them and that's not, because this will just make them kind of weird. Back cinch. I always have my back cinch snug. I don't have it real loose. I have it snug right there, if you can see how tight that is. And that should be it. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to cover how to hang a bridle, and then we're going to bridle one up. So I got 2 different style of reins. I got split reins like this that hang off the shank, and then I got some that are actually entwined into the shank. For these ones, these are ones everyone messes up hanging. So there's a rough side of the rein, which is always to the inside, and there's a smooth side to the outside. So when I hang this, I'm going to have the rough side to the inside the whole way around. And I'm going to put this end even with the loop. And it's the rough side all the way around. So it'll lay real flat. And then when I go to use it next, the reins keep memory in them. And it'll make it where when I'm on a loose rein, they'll hang real nice. So that's perfect. So if you hang it up, this can kind of look the same. It's so hard for me to even do it wrong, but so like that. You see that? That's not right because it's not smooth all the way around. So have that, and then follow it and make sure it's not twisted. So here it's twisted right here. So rough side to the inside all the way around. So just like that. And then my other rings I got, I'll grab Preacher's Bridle. They're intertwined like that. So these ones are a little bit easier. You'd have to really try to mess these up. Rough side to the inside. Rough side to the inside. Just like that. And then I'm going to go bridle this horse up with this. So what I do, I don't know if this is right or not. If you don't want to do it this way, that's fine, but I set my bridle right here and I loosen it all the way up. I don't like to put the bridle on when they're tight and it pulls on them right away. Use a leather cavesson a lot. We also got some other ones, but you can't go wrong using one of these. Preacher scraped his head the other day. So I love that. When I took that off, he looked right into me. I think I covered this in haltering, but I like it when I can push right there and just kind of grab them and they look into me like that. He's a little funny about his ear. He's got some fungus in there, so I thought he'd be good to show you kind of, if they're not very good about it, what to do. So on this, get this fairly tight, pretty snug around there. Put that back through the buckle. And then when I get my bridle here, I'm going to just get these loose around the horn. It keeps the reins off the ground. If you like the reins on the ground, that's fine too for this. I'm going to take this right hand, put it right between his ears. So if you remember, I got this, or I can do that. So if he tries to pick his head up, which he might, I can just go to that button. Take this thumb, put my whole hand on that bridle, thumb in his mouth. Have him accept that bridle really, really good like that. I like that. And this can be where he's weird, so I'm going to push this outside ear forward. Then the inside ear forward. That's the one he's been weird, but he's actually was okay today. But I like it the whole time if they're just right here. So I'm not sitting up here trying to do this or anything weird like that. So notice how loose this is right now. See, it's way below the corner. So I'm going to tighten that up. I'm just going to guess here. So let's go look from the front now to make sure it's even. Get that ear look good. And then what I do on the curb strap, curb chain, sorry, is if this bridle right here, if it was 90 degrees, if it was turned like that, that would be 90. I want to be able to pull this 45 degrees. When I pull 45, I should feel tension. On broker horses, he'll do what he just did. He'll kind of move his chin in. So 45, he gives to it. That's how you know that's set right. So I'll go ahead and tuck this in, and that should be good. The biggest takeaways is you push the ears forward. When you put the bridle on, we do not pull back and try to pull them over and make them smile and all that. Everything should just be nice and easy on them. All right, that should be good.